The dragon tree or Dracana draco, also Tenerife dragon tree, Dracana canariensis, Canary Island dragon tree, Latin Dracana draco, is a woody plant, a species of the genus Dracana of the asparagus family, Asparagaceae, the type species of this genus. It grows in the tropics and subtropics of Africa. Since ancient times, it has been used as a source of dragon's blood. Cultivated as an ornamental plant, including as a houseplant, it belongs to the so-called green-leaved species of Dracana. The species was first described by Carl Linnaeus. He initially placed it in the genus Asparagus, and a few years later included it in the genus Dracana. In accordance with Canary Islands Law No. 7 of April 30, 1991, Dracana draco is the official plant symbol of the island of Tenerife. Distribution, ecology. The species' natural range covers parts of Macaronesia, the Canary Islands, Madeira, and Morocco. In the wild, plants are found mostly on rocky cliffs of volcanic origin at altitudes of no more than 500 meters above sea level, usually in inaccessible places, and populations are usually small and scattered. The dragon tree bears fruit quite abundantly, but its natural regeneration is very poor, due to the fact that few seeds germinate, domestic animals, which eat the young plants that appear, and collectors, who dig up the plants. In the Canary Islands, it is found on La Gomera, Gran Canaria, La Palma, and Tenerife. The dragon tree is common here at altitudes of 100 to 400 meters above sea level. In the valleys, the plant is often cultivated. On the island of Madeira, according to data from the early 1980s, the plant is rare. Small trees can be found only on the coast on inaccessible cliffs. It was previously also found on the island of Porto Santo, part of the Madeira archipelago. As a naturalized plant, the dragon tree is found in Cape Verde, the islands of Brava, São Vicente, São Nicolau, Santo Antão, and Fogo. The plant's population here is very low, with isolated specimens surviving only on mountain slopes among xerophytic vegetation. Mature plants are significantly smaller than those in the Canary Islands. Centenarians reach only about 5 meters in height. In the mid-20th century, the main reason for the decline of the dragon tree in Cape Verde was the felling of young trees, which resulted in the plant's complete disappearance from some islands of the archipelago. In particular, it is believed that it disappeared from the island of Santiago. Reports of this species of Dracana growing in Somalia and Ethiopia have not been confirmed by the GRIN project. Biological description. Slow-growing and woody plants up to 20 meters tall. The trunk is strong, silvery gray, reaching 4.5 meters in diameter at the base. It exhibits secondary growth and thickness, with growth occurring not through cambium activity, as in gymnosperms and dicots, but as a result of the activity of meristematic cells located on the trunk periphery. The simple trunk begins to branch over time. Plants do not form growth rings, so determining their age is sometimes impossible. With age, dragon trees begin to develop aerial roots. When the bark is cut, a sticky sap, called dragon's blood, begins to ooze from the trunk, which turns red when exposed to air. Close-up of the dragon tree flower. The crown is umbrella-shaped. The leaves are tough, leathery, linear sword-shaped, glaucous, grayish-green in color. 45 to 60 centimeter long, collected in dense bundles at the ends of branches, the so-called apical rosettes. The width of the leaves ranges from 2 to 4 centimeters in the middle of the blade. They are somewhat narrowed towards the base and pointed towards the apex, with prominent veins. The flowers are small, inconspicuous, bisexual, actinomorphic in bundles of 2 to 4. Height. The perianth is simple, corolla-shaped, consisting of 6 unfused leaflets. Plants usually begin to bloom at the age of 8 to 11 years, but in some trees the first flowering is observed much later, at 25 to 30 years. By the time of the first flowering, the trunks of the plants reach several meters in height and become bare, with visible scars from fallen petioles. After the first flowering, the trunk of Dracaena draco changes its growth pattern. It begins to increase in diameter quite rapidly, by 2 to 3 cm per year, while the scars from the petioles disappear. In addition, branching begins in the upper part of the trunk. The plant does not bloom every year, but once every 14 to 17 years. Flowering occurs in the summer. Dragon tree fruit. The fruit is an orange berry. The fruit is edible, with a taste similar to that of cherries, Prunus avium. It was previously believed that the lifespan of some plants of this species reaches 5,000 to 6,000 years. According to modern knowledge, the age of old dragon trees was greatly overestimated.
Ever heard of a plant that bleeds red? Meet the dragon tree, famous for its bright red sap called dragon's blood. When the bark is cut, this resin oozes out. People have tapped it since ancient times. It's odorless, tasteless, dissolves in things like vinegar and other organic solvents. It softens around 70 degrees, starts breaking down at about 210 degrees. Traditionally, folks used it in medicine, to color wine, to make tough varnishes for metal. The vivid pigments, dracocarmine, dracorubine. Archaeologists found dragon's blood in prehistoric burial caves in the Canary Islands. The Guanches likely used it for embalming, and maybe in ritual magic. Beyond the resin, the leaves fibers, great for weaving baskets. Everyday goods. Thinking of growing one? Here's my step-by-step care guide. Light. Give it bright light. Outdoors, morning sun and afternoon shade. Indoors, a sunny window with filtered light. Soil. Use a fast-draining cactus or gritty mix. Add perlite or pumice. Pot. Choose a pot with big drainage holes. Terracotta helps prevent soggy roots. Water. Soak, then let the top half of the soil dry completely. Warm seasons, every 2 to 3 weeks. Winter, monthly. Temperature, aim for 65-80 degrees, 18 to 27 degrees. Protect from frost and heat blasts. Humidity, normal room air is fine. Feeding, light fertilizer once a month in spring and summer. Skip in fall and winter. Pruning, remove dead leaves. You can trim to shape. Pests, watch for scale and mealybugs. Wipe with soapy water or alcohol swabs. Repot, every 2 to 3 years or when roots circle the pot. Propagation, use fresh seed. Semi-hardwood cuttings with rooting hormone. One last thing, tapping for resin can injure or kill the tree. Admire the dragon's blood story, but grow yours for its sculptural beauty. See you in the next plant deep dive.
Dracaena draco is cultivated as an ornamental plant in open ground, primarily in the Canary Islands and Cape Verde, and as a houseplant. It is easily propagated in cultivation both by seed and vegetatively by apical cuttings. It is a very hardy plant, but is not often cultivated due to its lack of ornamental value. Unlike most other green-leaved cultivated Dracaena species, which can only be kept in warm greenhouses, this species can be kept in both warm and cold greenhouses. Outdoor cultivation is only possible in areas falling within hardiness zones 10 or 11, meaning the minimum temperature the plants can withstand is what exceed. One of the most famous specimens of the Canary Island dragon tree grew in the northwest of Tenerife, near Ico de los Vinos. Its trunk was cone-shaped and hollow. In the 15th century, an altar was located inside it. The tree was destroyed by a hurricane in 1868. By this time, its height was approximately 23 meter, and the circumference of the trunk was 15 meter, corresponding to a diameter of about 4.8 meter. The traveler Alexander von Humboldt saw this tree in 1799. Its height at that time was approximately 19 min, and its diameter was about 4 min. Humboldt estimated the age of this tree at 6,000 years. However, according to modern knowledge, this plant was most likely no more than 600 years old. Beketov, in the Brockhaus and Ephron Encyclopedic Dictionary, wrote of this tree, which he called the Orotava dragon tree, that it bloomed and bore fruit until its death. At the end of the 20th century, the largest plant of this species was a tree growing near the town of La Orotava. Its height was 21 meters, with a trunk circumference of approximately 8 meters. The first proper description of this plant species was published in September 1762 in the first volume of the second edition of Carl Linnaeus's Species Plantarum, 18. Linnaeus placed this species in the genus Asparagus, adding a question mark after the generic name in the description. Linnaeus chose the word Draco as his trivial name, specific epithet, which is cited in the text as part of the name Draco arbor, Latin for dragon tree, used for this plant by Carl Clusius in his Rariorum Plantarum Historia, 1601, and by Caspar Bauhin in his Pinax Theatrae Botanicae, 1671. According to the sexual classification system used by Linnaeus in Species Plantarum, the species was assigned to class 6, Hexandria, 6 staminid, order Monogynia, 1 pistil. In the second volume of the 12th edition of his Systema Naturae, published in October 1767, Linnaeus reclassified the plant, placing it in the genus Dracaena. The dragon tree is a species of the genus Dracaena, of which there are over 100 species. It is closely related to 2 other species of this genus, called dragon trees. Dracaena ombit, native to northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, and Dracaena cinnabari, found on Socotra. According to the Germplasm Resources Information Network, 2018, the genus Dracaena belongs to the subfamily Nullinoideae of the family Asparagaceae. The taxonomic position of this genus has been extremely unstable for many years. It has been considered part of the families Agavaceae, Ruscaceae, Convalariaceae, Liliaceae, or separated into its own family, Dracaenaceae.